Welcome to my second scripting tutorial. Today we will be going over operations in Lua. So, bear with me because my keyboard I switched keyboards. So it's a little bit quieter, but it's not as good as my other keyboard. So first, before we start anything, remember you can open up a new game, any type of game. And we will first go to workspace and we'll add a script. And let's name this script operations. So what are operations in the first place? Well, normally in scripting and programming, operations are used to add, subtract, multiply, divide, find the percentage, so many different things. So we will title our script operators or operations. And so first, we're going to learn about addition in Lua. So first, let's say you want to add two integers together, and remember, integers are 1, 2, 3, all of those. So we're going to start off with typing local for our variable, and then we're going to name our variable addition. And we're going to set this equal to 1, and then you're going to use the plus sign on your keyboard, plus 2. And now addition, the variable addition is going to be set to 1 plus 2, which equals 3. So if we were to print addition, and let's run our program up in the script menu, it will show 3. And it will show us the script, and we can click on that to see the line that it printed that. So next, we can also do the same thing by doing 5, and we'll say first value. Oh, remember we can't do any, sorry. And we can copy this. And then we can make another one and call it equals second value is equal to 3, or 2, we'll do 2. And then you can put a plus button in here, and you can say second value, and it will add those two together. So with that, there you go. It says 7. So that is the main thing of operations. Now with subtraction, it is exactly what you would think it would be. You just replace the plus sign with a dash or a minus sign. When you run it, you get 3 inner output. And multiplication is slightly different because you would normally think, well, you would do an X because a lot of times people use X for their multiplication whenever you write it on paper, but you actually use a little star right here. So that is if you hold Shift and 8 on your keyboard, if you have you can hold Shift and 8, which will get that. So whenever you run it, it will print out 5 times 2, which would be 10. And lastly, if you want to do division, sorry, let me replace this to division, in Lua, you just do a slash, and it will print out 2.5 in the in the console. So that is operators in their most basic sense. So you can use these, and with a lot of ways you can do a ton of different types of things. So you can do plus, and then you can create some more values. You can say plus 10 times 5 divided by 20 plus 80, and it will print that out too. So if you really wanted to have a calculator, and you don't have a calculator but you have your computer and you are too lazy to type calculator in your computer, you can use Lua, but it's really not that practical for an actual calculator. Depending on what level of math you are in, you probably have learned about exponents, hopefully. You can also do first value, and you use the little up arrow, so you do Shift and 6 to get that, and second value. So first value to the power of second value, so it would be 5 to the power of 2, which would be 25. And you see it will print out accurately. So there is also modulus, is kind of a little bit more complex. it is pretty much in every single every single programming language, and most of the time it is used to see if a number is even or odd. So modulus, you use a percentage sign, and so 5 divided by 2, if you were to actually divide it and not go down to the decimals, you get a remainder of 1, because if it would be 4, if it was to be even, it'd be 4. So you can say if it prints out 0, it'd be even, and if it prints out 1, it's odd. So you can look at the output and it'll be 1. If we had an even number in there, so if we had 4 and 5, and since 4 is divisible by 2, you can see that whenever you're dividing it by 2, but you can divide it by 2 to see if it's even or odd, but you can also do there's so many different things you can do. You can do like different stuff. So 3 would get you 1. Yeah, so it's really cool. It is kind of harder for some people to understand modulus, and that is pretty much operators for numbers. And we're also going to go over, I guess you could say, operators for strings, kind of. So let's say you want to make a string, but you want to add different things together. So let's say you want value 1, which we don't have value 1, and then you also want it to print value 2 and value 3. First, we're gonna have to define these variables. So let's say our first value, want it to say I have, and then you're gonna add a space, many, add space, and then you're gonna add whatever you want. I have many pencils. And you're gonna add a period. So what if you want to combine all of these strings together into one print statement? So what you're gonna do is you're gonna do dot dot, and then you're gonna add another dot dot, and that is how you add strings together. And when you run it, it will add the strings together into I have many pencils, which is a cool thing to print out, I guess, if you want to print I have many pencils out. You cannot use plus for this, because in some programming languages you use plus. In Lua, plus is seen as like an arithmetic operation, so you really just use dot dot because strings don't want to get confused with numbers or integers. So that is operations and how to kind of add strings together. I hope you guys liked this tutorial and found it simple to understand. If you have any questions, please say so in the comment section down below. And thank you for watching.